back. You see, to learn landlocked country, their coasts outside. So invaders came from this side, invaders came from that side, and they ultimately had to be contented with what they had. But now, you can't expect them to remain like that all the time to come. Now with the 20th century going out,
Right.
yes,
Yeah.
you see, and it's arms race. You see, they need not get arms from Pakistan if they have money. Any country would give them arms, right? Deliver it to them in Kashmir itself. It is so easy today.
That's right. In fact, it's easy just to buy them from private people also. I mean, the government doesn't have to be involved.
No. If I ask the Afghani, this is telling you,
Yes.
if I ask the Afghani today, send in 10,000 weapons, they would do it overnight.
And they can deliver it.
They can deliver it here. Nobody can stop it.
Yeah.
But we don't do it, you see. That's not the way. I don't, if once the fight breaks out in Kashmir, there will no end to it. It will either end both the countries and both the people will go down forever. And there will be no other result of that one. It will not end only in Kashmir, but it will take the whole subcontinent aflame. That is what I personally, maybe mostly because of my age, that I visualize things like that, you see, and I'm scared of them. I don't want people to go to war like this.
Yes, it would certainly be a very serious thing,
Yes.
because the weapons are so
Oh, yes.
sophisticated now.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. And that is why you must have also perhaps seen and felt that I have not supported the Sikh movement. Everybody in Pakistan has been supporting the Sikh movement, but Sardar Qayyum. And I publicly renounced it, and I said we can't lend any support to the Sikh movement. Just for the simple reason, you see that once this movement succeeds, then nobody can stop India breaking up. And it's not in my interest that India breaks up.
Yeah. What does the community abroad, the Kashmiris abroad, are they thinking now about the situation in Azad Kashmir?
This is mango, perhaps. Mango? Mango. About Azad Kashmir or Kashmir issue?
Well, about the large Kashmir issue.
But everybody is, in a suspense. People want to do something. They want something to be done. And we've been trying to explore many avenues of holding conferences, bringing people around. I was actually proposing for the last couple of years a conference of leaders from both sides of Kashmir, plus the Indian and Pakistani government representatives, and some diplomats around the world. Without prejudice, you see that everybody put his view across. And I thought that maybe when we start sitting together, many of the prejudices, they get removed by you coming closer, you see, trying to understand each other's point of view. And maybe we're able to find a solution to it. But there again, Indian government became so panicky about it, she would allow the people from both sides to meet. But I've been asking Rabta Alam Islami, that international organization which is based in Mecca. In fact, I made them adopt a resolution to that effect, that people on both sides should be provided with the facility to meet each other and discuss around the table. And then I made efforts myself. I had from common friends going to India and meeting the government officials and people you see, and the sensible people in the south of India, for example, who don't want to fight a Nehru family's war with Pakistan. It was very reasonable about it. So I've been trying all that, you see, these years. I even told some of my American friends that their State Department, ultimately they will also have to come in. Russia will also have to come in. China. You see, in order to avoid all this, if the people made efforts that they brought the people down on the table and let them discuss it out, once, twice, thrice, and I'm positively sure some answer would come out of it. So like that, you see, we've been trying to probe into various things. The community abroad has also been, in the beginning they thought they will go there to earn their livelihood, but that also they got satisfied after a couple of years that there must be something more than that. So like that, everybody is in suspense and apprehensive what's going to happen. There's no future, maybe there's a war, maybe there's no war, and like that. Everything is suspense.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And you've got, the Indians have always stopped the...
Indians have always invariably stopped every move. They can almost vetoing everything. I don't know whether they are on such a weak wicket that there's no other no other way out for them. But yeah, this is what it is.
Yeah. And I suppose there's no other organization that could organize a conference like this.
No.
To be done with Washington. But the Kashmiris abroad, has there been any indication that they would come back and help people on the other side? They were asked.
They're doing this.
They are.
They're already.
Of course, the government in India claims that a Kashmiri based in London is running the Kashmir Liberation Front.
There are Kashmiris based in London working very actively moving in this Kashmir Liberation Front. Although they're a very small number and they can't make any dent in this situation. But we don't bother about them ourselves. Although I don't belong to that school of thought. But they are free to do whatever they like. You want to stop people for nothing.
I was told, I met in Srinagar, I met the Modi and he said that after he went to Mecca some years back, his passport was taken. And he now doesn't have a passport because the fear of Mecca, he went on a Hajj, but the fear of Mecca being used as a center for discussing Kashmir is apparently upsetting to India, who doesn't want to keep the situation from getting outside the violence.
I initiated that as a matter of fact. I'm a culprit for that matter, yes. And they have even stopped the Secretary General of Afghanistan from going to India. They don't give him a visa for India.
So that it make it difficult to Islam state. But surely there's a way surely there must be ways to get a lot of information back.
What do you want for it? No impediment to getting any information, of course.
People in Azad Kashmir can keep in touch with what's happening.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, primarily there are a number of people coming on a proper visa and passport from Sweden, for example, all over. Every other day there's a family coming here and going to see a cycle like
How
that.
do they come, by road or?
No, they come by Delhi.
By Delhi?
Yeah, well, there's no other way.
There's no other way?
Yes, on the Pakistani visa.
I see.
Pakistan is liberal in this respect. But Indians have been very stingy. They don't give visas.
So there's more visiting from this direction?
There's a lot of visitors every day.
Oh, that's interesting. So then
All walks of life. The traders, the students, the lawyers, they are government officials, and they keep coming and visiting, and then we have all the information through them. And even the ceasefire line, a number of crossings on the ceasefire.
Yes.
It's such a vulnerable thing to see that you can't stop people.
That's right, and then people on the other side also say that there are many areas where just local people cross anyway, and so it's not a problem. What do you think has created a new round of activity in the Kashmir Valley?
There are two basic factors, three rather. One is the Indian effort at changing the demographic conditions in Kashmir in order to suit their designs, coupled with diluting the Muslim identity of the people. Now these two things have come to pose a very serious danger to the very existence of the Muslim community in Kashmir. So that has nothing to do with politics, freedom or politics or extending to India or Pakistan. That is just for their own simple existence as Muslims. That is one. The second reason was that sometimes back when Ziaul Haq was alive, stable Pakistan. A stable Pakistan is a very great incentive to the Kashmiris as well as to the Indian Muslims. That is why India doesn't want a stable Pakistan. And number three, of course, is the Afghan war. And that has also had a lot of exciting effects. Provided a great provocation. People condemning the Kashmiris. Look at these Afghans, these people living in the mountains and the hills, nothing to eat, nothing to live upon. They fought Russians. Why can't you? That sort of thing, so traveling day and night. And fourthly, it was an ideological government in Azad Kashmir. A strong, stable, ideological government in Azad Kashmir. These four factors, to my mind, have contributed towards that movement. changes also.
Here, they hear heroic tales in the Mujahideen. Some of them in Srinagar are calling themselves Mujahideen,
Yes.
and they must be getting a lot of information and focusing on
Yes. Many of them, to my not direct knowledge, but information I get sometimes. Many of them have crossed over and they've been fighting in Afghanistan.
With the volunteers.
Yes, with volunteers.
Yeah. Yeah, there are many volunteers from
You
South.
can't stop people you see from this. No matter what you do,
No.
you can't stop them.
That's interesting because if they would fight as volunteers, they would also get some experience.
True.
And so this may be when the Indians accuse the government here of training. This may also have something to do with people who are picking up experience.
There are many people who cross over. They don't even tell us. We only know it afterwards. That some people have gone, a group of youngsters, you see students and lawyers, and they've gone and joined the Afghans fighting there. You know, there are different links. For example, Jamaat Islami has a link there. They have their people.
Oh, I see.
The Liberation Front people have their links there. They have people who come and join, go there. And maybe some of them can get some armament also, but it's not difficult to get armament from the Afghans.
Sure. No, or just to buy it on the internet.
So
Yeah.
some people can even afford to donate it to them.
Yeah.
It doesn't arms, what does it mean to them? Light automatics.
Right. Yeah. And are they getting any help? I mean, do they get support from some nations like the Saudis or
No.
This is
Not
strictly Afghan.
not at the moment. Even Afghans, I'm not very sure that there is any help to them, except just training on the ground,
Yeah.
which they can't stop.
That's right.
But I was simply talking of the possibility that if some Afghans wanted to donate some arms, nobody else could stop them.
And as you said, they could also deliver them.
Yes, they could deliver them anywhere.
Inside this country, what is the government doing in this discussion about the northern areas? What do you see happening here?
The government inside, behind the walls, they know the truth of the matter. And the truth is that it's a part of the Muslim state. All that they are actually interested in is to settle the administrative control there.
I see.
Now, some people there for different reasons, different reasons, have been wanting either to stay independent or to become a province of Pakistan. But that cannot be done. They cannot become province of Pakistan. And by staying independent, they perhaps cannot really manage it that way. So even today, I had a brief talk with the Minister in charge of Kashmir Affairs, and we kept discussing the same for a few minutes. And they're also of the opinion that some way out must be found out. That is difficult. But surely it's a part of the district state, no doubt about it.
And you see this as the whole area is greater than.
Of course.
I should know this, how did it happen that South Kashmir became an independent government and the northern areas?
You see, because northern area was under the certain, I think 17 or how many square miles, 1700 or some square mile area was under the British authority
Oh, I see.
at the time of partition.
I see.
And that was done by the British government for fear of the Chinese advance on the north. Immediately after the British vacated, the state took it over. But then simultaneously the war of liberation broke out.
I see.
And then the government of Pakistan stepped into the shoes of the British government there and tried to continue, because the Chinese threat was still there at that time. It had not been reversed as it is now. For that specific purpose, the area was handed over through an agreement signed between the government of Azad Kashmir and government of Pakistan. It was handed over to them for administrative control for some time. So that went on to be perpetuated as happens with the administrative controls anywhere. Once the government gets administrative control, they don't want to part of it.
But do you think the government now would like to, I mean, is there some political reason that the government would like to have these northern areas change their status somehow.
So, Madam, Mr. Bhuttu, late Bhuttu was of the opinion that if we can't get Kashmir, then let us be contented with what we have. And for that purpose, he has suggested we convert the northern area and Azad Kashmir put together into a province of Pakistan. That was the suggestion he made to us publicly when he visited Azad Kashmir. I was visiting but then it was later on found out to be impracticable and it was dropped. That has been an idea and Indians have been behind doors very seriously wanting this to be implemented. Yes, because that would de facto or ipso facto confirm that it is also a powerful community in that area of the 3-4 communities residing, the religious communities. His sector is also very powerful there. So like this commotion has been going on. And I think finally it will be settled midway, somewhere, neither this side nor that side totally. Yes, that's what I'm expecting.
When you consider a greater Kashmir, including all of the occupied areas, would anyone here be willing to abandon Jammu area, or is that you consider the whole thing environment?
No, nobody. This was a suggestion made indirectly by Indians quite a number of years back. When they proposed a territorial plebiscite, instead of a total plebiscite, they proposed a territorial plebiscite. The meaning behind it was that the Hindu majority areas would invariably accede to India and the Muslim majority to Pakistan. And Hindu majority area happens to be the Jammu province. But that was also then later on dropped. People wouldn't agree to that.
What, in your understanding, what has been talked about, if anything, between the Indians and the Pakistanis lately? Is there any movement?
What we apprehend, we really don't know what is in their hearts and what do they say to each other, you see. But what I apprehend is that, and we've been very vocal about it, you see, since our conference, that they were, I don't know how to put it in English, but here you see, amongst us, there's a saying that when you want to ride a horse, and a good horse, you put your hand on it, and it knows, both of them, the rider and the horse, they can judge each other immediately, you see, where to stand with each other. That, I think, was being done at the SARC conference. Yes, that was being done. That if Kashmiris and Pakistanis took it, digested the thing, then perhaps do away with Kashmir. And if they didn't, then come out and say that no, Kashmir issue is alive and it has to be resolved and so on and so forth. That is what has happened. That's what I feel.
I see.
You see, because this government, madam, is very much under obligation as a party, it is under obligation to India. They've been supporting them all 11 years, you see, develops the regime. And human beings, and many of their people have lived in India and they've been supported by them. And therefore, I personally feel that before coming into power, they must have drawn up some other plans outside the government and outside Pakistan. And of those plans, invariably Kashmir would have been at the topmost item on that agenda.
Do you think the Prime Minister understands now that this is not something that she can study?
I think she's now beginning to realize that, you see, of her statements from time to time, you see, one can see that.
Yeah.
Although the Indians are trying to attach a lot of meaning of their own interest to it, you see, they're trying to explain away her statements, but all the same, you see, it makes a lot of difference inside the country.
When did the road close between the two Kashmirs? The road from Islamabad to Srinagar? Yeah.
It closed in 47.
47, and it's never been opened even after early?
No, except for these UN people.
I see, but there still is a...
No, this is the one.
Well, and in Srinagar, the
Yes,
UN people?
yes.
And they go back and forth?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Only
All
they
the
can
time.
cross over.
Yeah, all this time. Is the road is still good or not?
Well, our part is quite good. We have to maintain it. But that part, I think, is neglected.
So if there could be some solution, then you could resume trade or whatever.
Of course, straight away, even today. I suggested 2 years back that even if the issue is not resolved, let the people, families, separated families, meet each other without visa and passport. What is the time?
Oh, sorry.
No, the plane.
Oh,
Is it on time? Doesn't matter, it's different.
you're going
We
to
have another 5, 10 minutes.
Okay. You're going to have to reach.
Yes, it's huh? Russia doesn't matter. That's all right. We have another 10 minutes. So I have proposed that even if the issue is not resolved, let the separated families meet. But under the provisions of the United Nations UN organization, which permitted the Kashmiris to cross over on their own specific identification without reference to any visa or passport. That was one. And the second was that we resumed the trade route via Muzaffarabad with Srinagar. So this put the occupied Kashmir government in a very embarrassing position. They kept it discussing at the cabinet level in Delhi and both in Srinagar, and ultimately decided that this cannot be, it entailed too much of a risk really to be ventured, and they refused it. But this trade route has got to be opened because the Kashmiris are being strangulated altogether, and there's a lot of suffocation, the saffron, the apple, the handicraft, everything is being, choked. The other alternate arrangements made in Simla and Delhi and other places. And that was the mainstay of the Kashmiris, running into millions of rupees every year they were exporting. That is coming to a knot now, almost. And I propose that we open up this route. That also added fuel to the fire in Kashmir, you see, agitating the people. Why can't we do it? So anyway, they have not agreed to this proposal.
So if you once suggested, I think, that their trade would be better, right? They could, things like apples could come.
Apple,
How long
handicrafts.
does it take to come from Srinagar to?
Srinagar to Rawalpindi would be 2, 3, 5 hours by car, 6 to 8 hours.
So you could bring down fruits, things the same day?
Same day.
Much closer than...
Far closer, there's no comparison.
And that route is also closed all the time. I mean, that road has problems. That road down to Jammu.
Problems, and then of course, the monopolization. Here there will be no monopolization. People can on their own independently go and come as traders. And you see, this route has been open ever since for trade with Kashmir. So it's not for the first time that they're saying no. Ever since it has been. This was the route. Yes. And the main entire trade depended on Rawalpindi, Ahmedabad, and this area, you see. The trade with Srinagar.
Oh, I see. So it was historically...
It is historically, yes.
I didn't want me to...
No.
So there's been, but the Indians, of course, wouldn't have
Yeah,
any.
one.
It's interesting because if it were open and everything were free, there may be less, I mean, there would be no reason for people to have to see.
No,
I mean,
no reason.
you could have,
And many of the great nations, you see, will subside, settle down, and people will start seeing reasons, understanding of close quarters. There could be a little bit of a political turmoil. For example, if I go over to Srinagar, you see, it will be very exciting for the people.
what would happen if you went? I mean, your name would be well known.
It will electrify the situation inside.
The Indians would never let you go.
They will not let them go, yes. When they offered to open the route, I said if they allow, yes please, I said if they allow me to go to Srinagar, then it's all right. If they don't, then why should I permit you to cross it if I'm not allowed to? Then we are going. They just
Don't
leave
let me
it.
keep you if you have to go. Go ahead and
So
I'll see you
if you
again.
could make it possible, then stay with us for 2-3 days, and if your husband also comes in from Delhi, so we could have you with us for 3-4 days.
So then in future, I can either get in touch with you or we can...
Yes,